Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. Today we continue our series making a case for each and every Primarch being the greatest, with Alpharius. A general spoiler warning to begin, as today we will be referencing events from across the Warhammer 40k universe. So you have been warned, and with that said, let's waste no time and just jump straight in. Alpharius Omegon. One Primarch soul in two bodies, or two individual Primarchs. A debate for another day perhaps. For today I'm focusing on Alpharius, and Alpharius alone. In true Alpha Legion style, there's a couple of different avenues I could take here. The first, Alpharius' own account. For what better evidence is there for being named the greatest Primarch of all, than being selfless enough to hide your existence from your own brothers? Within Alpharius' Primarch series novel, Head of the Hydra, we were recounted a tale of Alpharius' life by the Primarch himself. If you choose to believe Alpharius, far from being found last, he was in actual fact found first, upon Terra itself no less, even before Terra had been fully unified. The claim here is far from the Emperor being foolish enough to celebrate finding a Primarch loudly, announcing it for all the galaxy to see, and indeed the ruinous powers to see. He instead would have absolutely kept it secret, and thus Alpharius was kept hidden from the galaxy, to all except the Emperor and Malkador, and eventually Valdor. Alpharius would be tutored by Malkador within the depths of the growing Imperial Palace, to become, as Malkador would state, the weapon our enemies do not expect. You could be, the secret shield, the sword in the darkness, the weapon our enemies do not expect, because their focus will be on us. You will do what you must to preserve what we have built, even without instruction. And so that is what Alpharius would become. He would hide himself from the galaxy, because that was what was asked of him. It was what his father needed him to do. While all other Primarchs were discovered, Alpharius would be there, watching, waiting, ensuring the Emperor's safety. As much as he wanted to speak to his kin, burning with questions to ask, to get to know them, he couldn't. Or at least he didn't, because he knew how gravely important his role was. The ultimate failsafe, security measure in the Emperor's safety. And I don't think you can overstate what a sacrifice this was, as all other Primarchs were celebrated proudly across the burgeoning Imperium, as all other Primarchs got to spend time by their father's side, be introduced to their legions publicly, and lead them to glory across the Great Crusade, even foster brotherly relations with their siblings. Alpharius remained locked in the shadows, locked to the duty his father required of him, forsaking all of it. And that is a beyond huge sacrifice. If indeed Alpharius' story is the truth, how can he not be the greatest of all the Primarchs? Because he performed a duty that no other could. He performed a duty no other can compete with. A duty worthy of the greatest son. Now, if you don't believe Alpharius' tale, of which I'll admit I don't, can he still have a claim? Could he still be worthy of recognition above all his brothers? Well, indeed, maybe there is. For Alpharius was the only Primarch who had the courage to fight for the true victory, to do what needed to be done to defeat chaos once and for all, even if it meant joining Horus's rebellion and the end of humanity. Alpharius was informed of two clear fates for the galaxy by the Xeno Cabal. One where, were Horus to win, chaos would ultimately consume itself with the extinction of the human race. Or two, where, were the Emperor to win, the Emperor would become imprisoned upon the Golden Throne, where chaos would eventually consume the galaxy after 10 or 20,000 years of suffering. And so Alpharius allied his legion to Horus's banner. Now, of course, where motivations are concerned with Alpharius, the truth is a riddle at the best of times. However, in appearing to ally with the Cabal, pledging his cause for that ultimate victory, did Alpharius not take on the biggest, heaviest burden in existence? Was he not prepared to do what no other could or would? That in order to defeat chaos, to save the galaxy as a whole, Alpharius was willing to sacrifice his own race. Now you could say, how on earth could that make Alpharius the greatest Primarch, when the Emperor stood for humanity, did everything he did for humanity? It's continuation, it's evolution. But wasn't the Emperor's ultimate goal to defeat chaos? Didn't he know there could be no safety until it was gone, eradicated? And in that case, Alpharius gave everything to see it done. Don't make the mistake of thinking it was an easy decision for Alpharius either. He had no intention of betraying his father. Even were he to stay seemingly loyal, humanity would be wiped out, only after several thousand years of suffering, with chaos ultimately victorious. But by bringing that to an end quicker, ending humanity's suffering sooner, he could in actual fact defeat the ruinous powers, ensure they could corrupt and tarnish the galaxy no more. Quite simply, either way, whether looking at Alpharius's tale of origin or his actions within the heresy, he was willing to undertake a course of action no other Primarch could or would. And that not only speaks volumes, it speaks for itself. And even if you want to bring up his death at the hands of Rogel as an argument against Alpharius, at the end of the day, what does it matter? Have the Alpha Legion not continued to survive? Were they not the only traitor legion who refused to flee, remained at war within the Imperium ever after? Did Alpharius not leave behind a legion that could operate entirely without him? That success is, at the end of the day, unmatchable, and it speaks entirely of Alpharius's leadership, of the legion he crafted. Undoubtedly the one legion where the loss of a Primarch mattered the least. And so, as always everyone, what do you think? Do you think the sacrifices that Alpharius was willing to go through prove undoubtedly that he is the greatest? Is it his tale of origin that could name him the greatest son? Or is it his actions within the heresy, willing to sacrifice everything in the name of victory? Or do you argue against that victory through sacrifice is no victory at all? Is Alpharius's greatness more about his personal ability? Is it about the role he was willing to perform? and the legion he left behind. As always everyone, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Huge thank you to all my subscribers, your support truly means a lot to me, it really does. If you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.